the walking method that can change your body after 50. If you are over 50 and you feel heavier than you used to, more tired, more inflamed, less confident, less mobile, less healthy, this video could change the next 10 years of your life. And no, I'm not going to tell you to do impossible workouts. I'm not going to tell you to starve yourself. I'm not going to tell you to train like a 22-year-old athlete, because most people over 50 don't need extreme fitness. They need consistency. And today, I'm going to show you why walking daily might be one of the most powerful fat loss and longevity tools on earth. Not supplements, not crazy diets, not exhausting workouts. Walking. Simple walking. Then before you click away, stay with me, because near the end of this video, I'm going to explain why one specific walking range changes almost everything for most overweight adults, and why most people are accidentally walking too little, or sometimes even too much. But first, let me tell you something important. The human body was designed to move, not sit 10 hours per day, not stay trapped in chairs, cars, couches, offices, and screens. Movement is medicine, and walking is the most natural movement humans have ever done. For thousands of years, humans walked daily, and now many people barely move at all, and the consequences are everywhere. Obesity, diabetes, joint pain, low energy, poor sleep, high blood pressure, depression, brain fog, low confidence. And the scary part? Most people think they need an extreme solution, but often they simply need to start walking again. Now listen carefully. This next part matters. Studies consistently show that daily walking improves cardiovascular health, blood sugar control, fat burning, mobility, brain health, sleep quality, mood, stress levels, longevity. And one study found that even around 7,000 to 8,000 daily steps was associated with significantly lower risk of premature death. Not marathons. Former, not punishment workouts. Walking. Now here's where things get interesting, because different step ranges create different benefits, and most people never understand this. Though in this video, I'm going to break down 6,000 steps, 8,000 steps, 10,000 steps, 14,000 steps, and I'll explain exactly who benefits most from each level. But before that, I need to tell you the biggest mistake people make when starting. They go too hard, too fast. They get motivated for 4 days, then disappear for 4 months. That's not transformation. That's emotional exercise. Real change is quieter, more boring, and much more powerful. The people who lose weight and keep it off, they master repetition, not intensity. That's why Walk Burn exists. We're not to impress people, not to create fitness influencers, but to help real people become healthy again, especially people over 50, especially people who feel like it's too late, because it is not too late, not even close. And in a few minutes, I'm going to explain why walking can actually make you feel younger physically and mentally, even if you start overweight. But first, let's talk about 6,000 steps, because this is where most people should begin, especially if you're overweight, sedentary, over 50, recovering mobility, struggling with motivation, dealing with fatigue. 6,000 steps per day may not sound impressive, but consistency beats intensity every time. Think about this. 6,000 steps every day equals over 2 million steps per year. That changes your body. That changes your metabolism. That changes your heart. That changes your mind. And here's something important people don't realize. Walking burns more fat than many people think, especially for overweight individuals. Because walking is sustainable, you can actually keep doing it, and sustainability is the real superpower. Now here comes another important point, and this could completely change how you see exercise forever. The body does not only change during workouts, but changes through accumulated daily behavior. That means daily movement, daily habits, daily calorie balance, daily blood sugar control, and walking improves all of them. Now, before I explain why 8,000 steps may be the sweet spot for longevity, I want to give you a simple rule. Never underestimate small progress. If you currently walk 2,000 steps, then 4,000 is a huge win. If you walk 4,000, then 6,000 is progress. This is not about perfection. This is about reclaiming your life. Now let's talk about 8,000 steps. This is where things become extremely powerful. Several studies suggest that around 7,000 to 8,000 steps daily is associated with major reductions in mortality risk, meaning people who consistently walk around this amount often live longer. Why? Because walking affects nearly every major system in the body: heart, lungs, brain, hormones, muscles, circulation, insulin sensitivity, inflammation. And here's something people over 50 need to hear. Walking protects mobility, and mobility protects independence. That matters a lot, because losing mobility changes life dramatically. Walking helps preserve freedom. Freedom to move, freedom to travel, freedom to play with grandchildren, freedom to live without constant pain. Now here's the tension point, because there's one hidden fat loss advantage of walking that almost nobody talks about. And once you understand it, you stop seeing walking as too easy. But before I explain that, let's talk about something that destroys progress for millions of people: sugar. Now look, you do not need to become perfect. You do not need to fear every dessert. But modern sugar consumption is out of control. Liquid calories, sodas, processed snacks, late-night junk food, constant insulin spikes. And when people combine high sugar, low movement, poor sleep, stress, the body gains fat very easily, especially after 40 and 50. Now here's the good news. Walking after meals can help regulate blood sugar. Even short walks, 10 minutes, 15 minutes, that matters a lot more than people realize. Now here's the hidden fat loss advantage I mentioned earlier. Walking does not destroy your recovery. That's huge. Hard workouts can sometimes increase hunger massively. They can increase fatigue. They can create joint stress. They can become mentally exhausting. But walking is gentle enough to repeat daily. That means consistency stays high, and consistency creates transformation. Now let's move to 10,000 steps, the famous number. Now technically, 10,000 steps started as a marketing idea decades ago, but over time, research still showed major health benefits around this range. For many people, 10,000 steps is an excellent target, especially for active adults, fat loss goals, cardiovascular improvement, mental health improvement. And mentally, something powerful happens when walking becomes identity. You stop saying, "I'm trying to get healthy," and you become, "I'm someone who walks daily." Identity changes behavior. Behavior changes life. Now let me ask you something. How many people do you know who completely transformed themselves through extreme motivation? Very few. But how many people changed slowly through simple habits? That's the real path. Now here's another important tension point, because in a few minutes, I'm going to explain why some people should not jump immediately to 14,000 steps, even though higher movement can be amazing. But first, I want to talk about something emotional: confidence. Because obesity affects more than appearance. It affects energy, self-respect, social confidence, intimacy, happiness, hope. And many people silently suffer. They avoid mirrors, avoid photos, avoid events, avoid movement itself. But walking daily starts rebuilding trust with yourself. Every walk becomes proof that you're changing, proof that you're fighting back, proof that your future can improve, and that matters psychologically. Now let's discuss something powerful. Walking improves brain health. Yes, your brain. Studies suggest walking may help memory, mood, stress reduction, cognitive function. Movement increases blood flow. Fresh air matters. Sunlight matters. Rhythm matters. And many people discover something unexpected. Walking becomes therapy, especially morning walks, especially quiet walks, especially phone-free walks. Now, about 14,000 steps. This level can be incredible for the right person. Higher step counts generally increase calorie expenditure. They improve conditioning. They improve endurance. And for some people, 14,000 daily steps becomes life-changing. But here's the warning. Do not force huge step counts too early. Your joints need adaptation. Your feet need adaptation. Your routine needs adaptation. Transformation is not a sprint, it's construction, brick by brick, day by day. And remember, an injured person stops moving. A consistent person keeps progressing. That's why I tell beginners, start where you are, not where your ego wants to be. Now here's another thing most people don't realize. Walking also improves sleep quality, and sleep affects everything: fat loss, hormones, recovery, hunger, energy, mood. And many overweight adults are trapped in a cycle: poor sleep, low energy, low movement, weight gain, worse sleep. Walking helps interrupt that cycle, especially outdoor walking. Now let me give you practical strategies that make walking easier. This part matters, because motivation fades, systems remain. Here's strategy number 1. Never rely on motivation. Create automatic routines. Same time, same shoes, same route. Remove decision fatigue. Strategy number 2. Start smaller than you think. If 30 minutes feels hard, start with 10. Seriously. Winning consistently matters more. Strategy number 3. Use walking triggers. Walk after meals, after coffee, after work, during phone calls. Attach walking to existing habits. Strategy number 4. Make your environment support you. Keep shoes visible. Prepare clothes early. Reduce friction. Strategy number 5. Track your steps. Humans improve what they measure. Simple awareness changes behavior. Now here's something else important. You do not need a perfect diet immediately. Yes, avoid excessive sugar. Yes, reduce ultra-processed foods. Yes, eat more protein and whole foods. But don't try becoming perfect overnight. That destroys consistency. And yes, you can absolutely enjoy rewards sometimes. A meal with family, a dessert occasionally, life matters too. This is about sustainability, not punishment. Now here comes another major tension point, because there's one psychological trick that dramatically increases long-term success, and almost nobody uses it. But first, I want to talk about resistance training briefly. I personally recommend simple fitness movements too. Body weight exercises, resistance bands, light strength work, especially after 50, because muscle matters. Muscle protects metabolism. Muscle protects aging. But listen carefully. Your first mission is movement. Walk daily first. Build identity first. Build consistency first. Then later, you can layer simple strength training. Walking is your foundation. Now here's the psychological trick. Never focus only on weight. Focus on life improvement. Energy improves, mood improves, mobility improves, confidence improves, sleep improves. And if you only chase scale numbers, you miss all the victories that matter. Now imagine this 1 year from now. You walk daily, your energy is higher, you move easier, your clothes fit better, your blood markers improve, you sleep better, you feel younger, your confidence returns. That future is possible, and it starts with walking. Now, let's address something honestly. Some days will suck, some days you won't want to walk. Some days it's cold, some days you're tired, some days life gets heavy. Walk anyway. Even a short walk counts. Never break the identity, because discipline grows through repetition, not emotion. And this next point is critical for people over 50. Please speak with your doctor before starting if you have medical concerns, heart conditions, severe obesity, joint issues, balance problems. Safety first, always. Now, another thing nobody talks about. Walking changes posture, movement changes body language, and body language changes psychology. People start standing taller, breathing deeper, moving better, feeling alive again. That matters. Now let's create another tension release. Earlier, I said there's a specific walking range that changes almost everything for many people. Here it is. For most overweight adults, 8,000 to 10,000 daily steps is often the sweet spot. High enough for major health benefits, sustainable enough for long-term consistency, powerful enough for fat loss, safe enough for most beginners with gradual progression. That range changes lives. Now, before we finish, I want you to understand something deeply. Your body is listening to your habits every day. Every walk says, I still care about myself. Every walk says, I'm not giving up. Every walk says, my future matters. And over time, those walks become a new body, a new mindset, a new life. You do not need to become perfect. You just need to become consistent. Now, if you're ready to start, I created a free Walk Burn starter plan for you. It's in the description below. It will help you build the walking habit, stay motivated, progress safely, avoid common mistakes, stay consistent long-term, and very important, check your spam folder every day after signing up, because sometimes the emails land there at first. Inside those emails, you'll receive motivation tools, walking strategies, fat loss guidance, mindset support, simple health tips, consistency systems, everything designed to help you stay on track. No extreme fitness, no nonsense, just simple, sustainable progress. And remember this, the goal is not to become perfect. The goal is to become healthier, year after year, one walk at a time, one day at a time, one step at a time. Walk Burn. Let's go. The crazy part is, most people still think walking is too simple to change a life. That belief destroys millions of people because they keep waiting for motivation, for energy, for the perfect diet, for the perfect program, for Monday, for next month, for the right time. But your body does not change because of perfect timing. It changes because of repeated movement. That's it. And walking is repeated movement. Simple, powerful, sustainable. Now here's something fascinating. Researchers found that consistent walking can dramatically improve insulin sensitivity. That matters more than most people realize, because poor insulin sensitivity makes fat loss harder, energy lower, cravings stronger, inflammation worse, and many people over 50 are fighting that battle every single day without even knowing it. But walking helps your body become more efficient again, step by step, literally. And here's another tension point most people never hear about. There's a reason walking changes mood so quickly, and it's not just psychological. Walking actually changes chemistry inside the brain. Studies show regular walking can help increase dopamine and serotonin activity. That means better mood, better focus, better emotional stability, less anxiety, less mental fog, better sleep quality. And that matters because when people feel emotionally exhausted, they stop taking care of themselves. That's why this is not just about fat loss. This is about getting your life back. Now listen carefully, because this next part might change the way you see aging forever. Most people think aging automatically means more pain, more weight gain, less mobility, less confidence, less energy. But that is not fully true. A massive part of aging is actually inactivity. Read that again. Inactivity accelerates aging. Movement slows it down. Walking keeps the body communicating with itself. The muscles, the heart, the lungs, the joints, the brain, the metabolism. Everything works better when the body moves regularly. And no, you do not need to become a marathon runner. You just need consistency. That's why Walk-Burn exists. Not to impress people, not to build ego, not to chase extremes, but to help normal people feel alive again. That matters. Now let me tell you something important. The first few weeks are the hardest. Not physically, mentally, because your brain is still attached to the old identity, the old routine, the old excuses, the old comfort zone. That's why many people quit too early. They think nothing is happening, but something is happening. Your body is adapting quietly. Your circulation improves first, then your endurance, then your sleep, then your mood, then your inflammation decreases, then your clothes fit differently, then your confidence changes, and one day you look in the mirror and realize you're becoming someone else. That transformation is slow, but it is real. Now here's another fact that should wake people up. Sitting too much has been linked to increased risk of heart disease, obesity, type 2 diabetes, poor circulation, muscle loss, joint stiffness, and even cognitive decline. Your body was designed to move, not to stay frozen for 12 hours a day. That's why even small walks matter. A 10-minute walk after meals? Powerful. A morning walk? Powerful. An evening walk? Powerful. And when those walks stack together, they change your future. Now I want to create another tension point, because there's one thing overweight people often misunderstand completely, and this misunderstanding keeps them trapped for years. Ready? You do not need to destroy yourself to lose fat. You do not need brutal workouts. You do not need punishment. You do not need suffering. In fact, extreme plans often fail faster. Why? Because the body fights back, the mind burns out, and consistency disappears. But walking is different. Walking lowers resistance. Walking feels possible. Walking feels sustainable. Walking fits real life. And sustainable always beats extreme over time. Always. Now imagine this. 6 months from now, you wake up lighter. You breathe easier. Your knees hurt less. You sleep deeper. You move faster. You feel cleaner mentally. Your confidence comes back. People notice your energy changing. Your face looks healthier. Your posture improves. Your mood stabilizes. That future is not fantasy. That future starts with daily walks. Now another important thing, do not obsess over perfection. Some days you'll hit 10K, some days 6K, some days maybe only 3K. Still walk. Never break the identity. That is the secret. Not perfection. Identity. A walker walks. That's who you become. And eventually, the walks stop feeling like effort. They become therapy, peace, momentum, freedom. Now let's talk about food for a second. You already know sugar becomes dangerous when it controls your life, especially liquid sugar, sodas, sweet coffees, constant snacks, processed junk. That combination with inactivity is devastating long term. But here's the good news. Walking helps regulate appetite too. Many people notice fewer cravings once they walk consistently, because movement changes behavior. Movement creates momentum, and momentum changes choices. That's why one healthy habit often creates another. Now here comes another tension point, because this next part is huge for people over 50. Walking helps preserve independence. That is one of the most important health benefits nobody talks about enough. Strength matters, mobility matters, balance matters, cardiovascular health matters, because staying independent means you keep freedom, you keep dignity, you keep quality of life, and daily walking helps protect that future. That's powerful. Now let me say something directly. You are not too old. You are not too far gone. You are not finished. Your body still responds to movement. At 30, at 50, at 60, at 70, even older, the body adapts when given consistent signals, and walking is one of the safest signals you can send. Now, before we close this video, I want you to remember something forever. Every unhealthy habit compounds, but every healthy habit compounds too. That means every walk counts, every step counts, every decision counts. You do not need one perfect day. You need repeated better days. That is how lives change. Slowly, quietly, powerfully. And one more thing, the people who succeed long-term are not always the most talented. They are usually the most consistent. That's the truth. Consistency beats intensity every time. So start small if needed, but start 5 minutes, 10 minutes, one block, one walk, Then repeat tomorrow, because your future body is built by repetition, not motivation. And someday, you will look back at the version of yourself that almost gave up and feel grateful that you kept walking. Walk, burn, one step at a time. Let's go.